As many of you have heard, the first Arab American female driver to participate in the ARCA Menard Series. She'll be racing with us this weekend at Talladega Superspeedway. Toni, how are you today? Thanks for joining us.
Good. How are you?
I am doing great. You had a pretty solid run at Daytona to start the season. We're not going to talk about Phoenix. We're going to just wipe that one from the memory banks. What are your thoughts going into the round number 3 this weekend at Talladega?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I feel like I learned a lot from Daytona. That was my first time on a big track like that, my first time really drafting. So I feel like I learned a lot. There's a lot to process during the race. So I'm excited to take what I learned at Daytona and apply it to Talladega.
All right, we will open it up to questions from members of the media. If you have a question, please raise your hand in the chat and we will get right over to you. Everyone must be shy here this afternoon. While we're waiting for the media members to ask a question, I'll ask another one. What were some of the things that you learned at Daytona that will help you this weekend?
Yeah, I feel like drafting was a really big thing, and just how the car feels when you're in a pack and drafting. It feels totally different to when you're just doing like single car runs. So that was just a big learning experience, and just like knowing what the draft feels like. You don't really know what it's going to be like until you're really in it and like actually experiencing it. So just really the whole aspect of drafting was a very big learning experience.
All right, again, any questions for Toni Breidinger, please raise your hand in the chat and we will get to you as quickly as we can. We will start with Bob Pockrass. Bob, go ahead whenever you're ready.
Yeah, Toni, you've had a lot of kind of media focus in the last couple of months. I'm just curious, did you expect it? Have you been comfortable with it or uncomfortable with it?
Yeah, I definitely didn't expect it. I love that people are kind of gravitating towards my story and what we're doing. It's really cool, but definitely not expected, but very much appreciated. And definitely like, I feel good about it. I feel like it's important to kind of get like my message out. I really want to make sure I'm paving the way for others and kind of opening doors. So I appreciate all the support and the attention that we've been getting.
Thank you.
All right, Bob, thanks a lot. You have had the spotlight on you quite a bit here, and that's a very good thing, not only for you, but for us as well. Does that put any additional pressure on your shoulders, knowing that you've got a lot of extra people watching you?
I feel like once I'm at the racetrack, I'm just so focused about the race and everything going on in like the media or the press or like the outside world, like just doesn't cross my mind. I'm just pretty focused when I'm at the racetrack, and I'm still there to do what I've always been there to do. No matter what kind of attention you're getting, you're there to win and do well for your team. And pretty much just get the job done. So I feel like once I'm at the track, I'm pretty focused and I'm not really paying attention to any outside pressure.
I gotcha. We will go next to Taryn. Taryn, do you have a question for Toni Breidinger?
Hi, Toni.
Hi.
It's Taryn. I was wondering if there's been any update on what truck races you're looking at for this season.
Yeah, so we're still trying to figure that out. I really want to go to a track that I feel confident and comfortable in. And I feel like once I kind of get 1 or 2 more ARCA races under my belt, then I'll kind of decide like, okay, I like these types of tracks. I just feel like I don't have that much experience on any of these tracks. So I just want to make sure, especially with the limited practice, that I feel really confident going into my first race. I don't want to rush it just to get it done.
So we're looking more so toward the end of the season?
I would say so, but if I also get an opportunity, I feel good about a race, then I wouldn't turn down the opportunity. It's just kind of up to how I'm feeling.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Taryn. Toni, you come from the open wheel world. You've got a lot of success in USAC open wheel racing. I think you have 19 career victories. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yes. Total. So 19 career wins, and then you jump in the stock car, and it's a completely different situation. It's a learning situation, and while you haven't been up there competing for wins yet, you're doing what you have to do to get that experience. But it has to be a bit of an adjustment going from competing for victories to just building some experience. How hard has that been to kind of readjust what your expectations are here at the racetrack?
Yeah, I feel like racing is very humbling sport. As soon as you think you're doing good, you're either like take a step back or you have like an off race or something, or you're at a new track that you haven't been to before. So there's definitely a learning curve, and I kind of had to, it hurt my confidence a little bit because I thought, I would just jump into these stock cars and be winning right off the bat and pick up where I left off in the midgets, but they're totally different vehicles. So I feel like you just have to you kind of start at square one again, and it's difficult, it's hard, and it's frustrating. But everybody's in the same boat. Everybody has to start at square one.
So one of the things that you absolutely need to have to win here at Talladega is someone to work with in the draft. Have you discussed a game plan with any of your other drivers out there for this weekend, or is that something you're planning on doing here before too long?
We'll probably kind of discuss more like once it gets closer to the race. I honestly don't know too many of my competitors. I feel like I'm still kind of like the new one in the series a little bit, but we will see. Hopefully somebody will work with us.
All right. Any other questions for Toni Breidinger from members of the media? Please raise your hand in the chat or drop me a note in the chat, and we will open it up to you. We will go next to Luis Torres at the podium finish. Luis, go ahead whenever you're ready.
Thank you. You mentioned it already, that the adjustment from kind of like going from expectations running high to now kind of starting back to square one. How has that built you mentally to kind of keep you humbled and kind of grounded to perform as best as possible before thinking about the bigger goals?
Yeah, it's definitely humbling, and I feel like it's important to have a team that believes in you, because there's going to be times where you don't believe in yourself, and it's important to be surrounded by people that do believe in you and will kind of like help you work through all those little rough times. So it's definitely a little bit of a challenge, but I feel like I'm surrounded by a really good team that believes in me. And for me, I feel like as long as I'm improving every weekend, then at least I'm getting somewhere and I'm making progress. And to me, that's good.
Thank you. Best of luck.
Luis, thank you very much. Toni, how has it been achieving those goals? How have you gone about setting what those goals are week in and week out? Is that something that you and your family and your team kind of discuss, or is that just something that you kind of have in mind for yourself?
I feel like I usually kind of keep it to myself. Like I feel like with the team, obviously like top 10s are going to be like our next type of goal, and then top 5s, and kind of like working our way up. But I feel like for me, I set my goals based on mistakes that I make from like a previous race. Like I know I made a couple of rookie mistakes at Daytona. So for me, my focus is to not make those mistakes again and to improve on those. But it is something that me and my crew chief also discuss for sure.
All right. Any other questions for Toni Breidinger? Last chance before we let her get back to it here this afternoon. All right, Toni, I think we're good. I appreciate you joining us here. Best of luck to you this weekend.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you guys talking to me.
We look forward to a good, solid top 10 finish for you this weekend.
Yep. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Appreciate everybody joining us.